Okay, protists. Protists are all the organisms that don't fit in fungi, plants, animals, or other kingdoms. So they want some specific characteristics that the other kingdoms doesn't have. Okay, there are three types of protists. The first one is animal-like protists that are called protozoans. The second one is plant-like protists that are called algae. And the third one are called fungus that are like protists. The first type of protists are protozoans. Protozoans are unicellular heterotrophs that feed on other organisms or in dead organic matter. Most reproduce asexually by mitosis and some reproduce sexually. They are classified in how they move, so in flagella, cilia, or pseudopodia. The first type of protozoans are rhizopoda. Rhizopoda doesn't have a cell wall, they form pseudopodia to move and feed, so they have a constantly changing shape. Most live in saltwater, and there are two types of groups of marine rhizopods. The first one is foraminiferans that are abundant on the seafloor or are shells. And fossils of these are used by geologists to figure out the age of rock formation. And the second one is radiolarians that are important for marine plankton and are shells that are made. The second type of protozoans are somastigina. Somastigina are the ones that use flagella for movement. Some are parasites that cause disease. The third type of protozoan is Ciliophora. Ciliophora are the ones that have cilia that cover their bodies. They live in aquatic habitats, in streams, ocean, or springs. One example is permission that use cilia to a type of gullet or food vacuoles to feed. Usually it reproduces asexually by mitosis, but can also exchange genetic information through a process called conjugation, when conditions begin to turn unfavorable. The fourth type of protozoans are sporozoa. Most reproduce spores. They have a reproductive cell that forms without fertilization and forms a new organism. All sporozoans are parasites that live in one or more hosts and have complex life cycles. Like for example, Plasmodium, the sporozoan that causes malaria, transmitted by mosquitoes to humans, affects liver and red blood cells. Okay, the second type of protist is the plant-like protist. These ones contain chlorophyll as well as other pigments. They have colors that are used to classify them as green, purple, red, brown, yellow, and golden brown. There are six phyla, three are unicellular and three are multicellular. They are photosynthesizing unicellular algae. It is estimated that they produce one half of Earth's oxygen and majority of nutrients in aquatic ecosystems. They don't have roots, stems, or leaves, and some don't have cell walls. There are six types of plant-like protists that are Euglenophyra, Basilarophyra, Dinoflagellata, Rhodophyra, Phyrophyra, and Chlorophyra. And I'm going to explain Basilarophyra, Rhodophyra, and Phyrophyra. Okay, the first type is Basilarophyra. They are most known as golden algae. They are unicellular photosynthesizers. They are abundant in fresh water and in marine ecosystems. They contain chlorophyll but also carotenoids, which give them their golden color. They store food as oil that helps them float and gives oily taste to fish that eat them. and they are both asexual and sexual reproduction. In asexual, two halves separate and grow a new half, and in sexual, when one half original size, gametes are produced that fuse to form new adult. Other type of plant-like protists is Rhodophyta, which are multicellular seaweed. They grow in tropical waters along rocky coast in cold water. They have a structure called holdfast to attach to rocks, and in addition they contain chlorophyll. They contain phycobilins, which absorb green, violet, and blue light. That this allows them to live at depths where not other seaweeds or photosynthesizers can. Phyophyta, most known as brown algae, are multicellular marine seaweed. There are about 1,050 species. They almost live in salt water along rocky coast in cold water. Many species have air bubbles to keep their bodies floating near the surface. The most common and complex brown algae are the kelp. Kelp thallus is divided into the holdfast, stipe, and blade. Some of those can grow to 60 meters long, and in parts of the world, including California, they form dense underwater forests that provide habitat for rich and varied ecosystems. The third type of protists are the fungus-like protists. They are saprophytes that decompose organic material. There are three types of slime. The slime molds that are Myxomycora and Acratiomycora, and the water molds that are the Omycora. The slime molds have characteristics of protozoa and fungi. They are classified on how they reproduce. Animal-like during much of their life cycle, moving around like amoebas, and then they decompose organic matter and produce spores to reproduce. Myxomycora, most known as Plasmodium slime molds, the name comes from the structure they call plasmodium. They contain diploid nuclei but not cell walls or membranes. They creep like an amoeba over a surface of the leaves or wood, up to 2.5 centimeters per hour. Uh, when food becomes scarce, it transforms into many separate stalks where meiosis produce haploid spores. And these spores develop into either to a flagellate cell or an amoeboid cell or a gamete with confused with other to form a diploid zygote that develops into a new plasmodium. Acratiomycora, most known as cellular slime molds, the life cycle is spent as an individual amoeboid cells that feed, grow, and divides by mitosis. When food becomes scarce, cells join together to form a reproductive structure that resembles as plasmodium, and eventually a structure that can move haploid during their entire life cycle. The Omycora, most known as water molds, are large and diverse groups that live in water and moist places. Some are saprophytes that other parasites. Water molds appear as a fuzzy white growths, look and feel like fungi, but produce flagellate reproductive cells. Many are parasites on plants, have a major effect on agriculture and human history. Okay, Mr. Charles, this is the end of my video. Thank you for this opportunity. I hope that I don't have to ask you again for these types of opportunities. I will try to improve my grade in the second quarter and in the rest of the year. Okay, thank you, because this is very important because I want to go to binationals and I did that to pass this class. So thank you. I hope you enjoy your vacations.